Now we're going to look a little bit more at what you can see on the display on the machine. So when you first turn your machine on, it's going to say, "Welcome to Air 11. To help us guide your experience, are you a clinician or a user?" So we're going to start with saying we're a user. And it says, "To enhance your setup, please select your PAP experience." That's a care check-in. So you're going to let them know if you're new to PAP, you're trying again, you're continuing. You're just going to touch it. We'll say we're new to PAP. We're going to talk about how sleepy we usually are. So we're going to say we're very sleepy. Over 80% of every sleepy users report feeling less sleepy within 28 days of using ResMed PAP therapy. Okay. We'll check in with you in a few days to see how you're doing with therapy. Okay. And then it's telling you ResMed has a smartphone app called My Air that's really helpful for new PAP users, which we saw on our last video on how to download that in the PAP store. If you haven't done that, I do recommend it. My Air gives you a lot of information that you can look at daily, which is really helpful. It says My Air helps you set up your device correctly, which can be harder than it looks. Wondering what therapy will feel like? My Air gives you guided test drive of therapy. My Air also allows you to track your sleep progress. Do you want to set up My Air? I'm going to say no thanks. I do recommend you actually do that. So this machine has not been set up necessarily for anyone in particular, but when you look at this, this is what it's going to look like. It'll say My Options, which again, this is all just touch screen. So in your machine, it will tell you if you have a ramp, which is when your machine starts off at a lower pressure and then slowly ramps up to the pressure that you're set at for the night. Currently, there is a humidity level of 4 on this machine. I do not have a tubing plugged in right now. Mask setting currently is set at pillows. You can select that and change that. Your options are pillows, which are under your nose that kind of go in a little bit. Full face mask, which can cover nose and mouth, or sit under your nose and cover your mouth, or nasal, which typically goes under your nose or over your nose. We'll talk about those later. Okay. To go out, you can just hit the home screen, My Sleep View. If you had used it, which this one hasn't been used, this would tell you your usage for the night and then how your mask still was. And it's telling you it's going to update this after you sleep with it. Again, you hit the home button to go back. You can hit more. On more, you can actually run a mask fit if you want. If you select this, you can put your mask on and press start to begin. So it'll give you an idea of your mask fit even before you start for the night. And then obviously this is going to tell you a little bit more about the My Air app. So again, this is all just touch screen. So touch My Options. It'll give you your information on what your machine is set on. I'll tell you here too, you can actually change the ramp. You can't change your pressure. You can change the ramp by clicking on that. Auto means that as soon as the machine detects that you're falling asleep or asleep, it will go ahead and ramp up to your therapy pressure. And the rest of this is in minutes. So 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, etc. So if your pressure seems a little bit high and you want to keep it at a ramp for longer, if you usually take about 30 minutes to fall asleep, you can just change it to 30 and then set OK. Or if your pressure may seem a little bit low with the ramp turned on currently, you can hit off and actually turn your ramp off yourself. This is one of the settings that you can adjust. Again, humidity level. Currently there's no tubing plugged in, but your humidity level is set from off to 8. 8 is the most humidity. Off is obviously none, and 1 is the lowest setting. We're going to plug in the tubing in a minute, and this will change a little bit. But in general, around 4 to 5 is a good humidity level for most people, and then you can adjust from there. We're going to talk about humidity more in detail in a different video. This is just kind of a look at what you can change. This will give you an idea of your information per night.